It is time to bring a little bit more bling and zing to my Hackintosh thing. What's up everybody, it's PJ the Great. I hope you're having a super beautiful day. And if you're new here, I do videos just like this as well as ADHD tips, which I know I'm late on. But if that sounds like your jam, consider subscribing. And to all my returning subscribers, what's up great ones? Welcome back. Alright, so today I want to add a little more bling to my Hackintosh build. So I picked up this thing here. This is a CPU cooler. It is made by Jonsbo and it is the CR-801. Now I picked this up on Amazon.com and it was only $11.99. Can you believe that's really like dirt cheap? And I bought it. The only reason why I bought it is because it has RGB on it. Now it's not adjustable RGB. It cycles through its lights on its own. But I picked it up because there's a lot of RGB on my Hackintosh now, especially since I threw it in that Gemini M case. And then I have some blue fans in the inside. And the only thing that was missing was this little center area that had no bling. It just had that little wimpy Intel cooler that they provide. So first reason, bling. Second reason, I'm suspecting that this is going to do a way better job at cooling my Intel Core i3. Now this little product here is compatible with AMD processors as well as Intel. I believe it said it was AM3 and AM4, and this will fit the 1100 series Intel processors as well. So let's go ahead and crack open the box and see what we get inside. First thing here, we got the instructions for assembly, and it shows you, oh, it even comes with thermal paste, which I will not be using. And it shows you all the brackets that it comes with. So there's separate brackets, some for AMD and the others are for Intel. And the instructions are pretty interesting. They're pictures. There are no words whatsoever on these instructions. They're just pictures. This should be interesting. We got a little bag here. Let's see what's in our little bag here. Right, this, wow. This is super plastic. This is the back mount for the back of the motherboard, and it is plastic. I mean, it is plastic and it's adjustable, so I guess you adjust this based upon what kind of motherboard you're rocking with. What else we got in here? Here's our brackets. Now one set is for AMD and the other set is for Intel, and I guess you're supposed to just guess which one is for which, because it does not tell you. The only writing on this thing is in Chinese. And there's no writing on the bag, so the bag doesn't tell you what's going on. I guess you're supposed to just guess, which is very unfortunate. There's that thermal paste I told you about. It just says Jonsbo on it. I'm not going to use it. I don't know what the quality of it is. And the star of the show is, that's pretty beefy. Here's the Jonsbo RGB cooler. And this thing is big. I hope it fits. So just by looks alone, I'm thinking that this is going to do way better than the stock cooler that Intel provides you with. I saw one review on Amazon.com and the person said that it did just as well as his cooler that came with his Ryzen processor. So that is good news for me, considering that AMD does provide better CPU coolers than Intel does. So that means I should see an improvement. And right now, using the stock Intel cooler, I am sitting idle at anywhere between 40 and 45 degrees, which I think is pretty high, especially when there's no overclock and it is just a Intel Core i3 processor. So I'm guessing that this should get me down into the mid 30s. Well, we'll see if I'm even able to get this thing assembled, because something tells me I'm gonna have to guess at which one is Intel and which one is AMD. There we go.
I think about us, I think about us calling. I think about us, I think about us falling through the dark night and through time, towards the light when you'll be mine. I think about us, I know the dawn is for us. I dream about us, I dream about the stardust. I dream about us, I dream of how it started and how it's all.
Okay, so we got this cooler all installed, and I must say it looks pretty awesome and pretty cool, but it wasn't cool to install it. The first issue that I had with the assembly is that these instructions are really no help. I didn't discover until it was time to install it that in really small print it shows you which brackets are for AMD and which are for Intel. But as you can see here, it really doesn't tell you how they go on. So naturally I put them on backwards first. Found out that it was backwards by test fitting it with the back bracket. Thank goodness I did that, because I found out then, instead of going through the assembly process and finding out later, flipped them around, and then once getting it installed, it was pretty much easy. It was a little bit hard trying to hold the bracket in with one hand and screw it in with the other hand, but eventually I got it done, and I would say the whole entire process probably took me roughly 10, maybe 15 minutes. But I don't think it really should take that long to install a cooler. As far as the cooling performance, what do I think of the Jonsbo CR801? Well, I'm definitely seeing a temperature drop. It was like average 44 degrees at idle with the Intel cooler. Now I've seen this thing drop as low as 36 degrees so far idle. So that is pretty cool, and it's probably going to get even better once the thermal paste starts to settle. And that's another thing too. I don't know how good or bad the Jonsbo thermal paste is that they provide, but if you have a higher quality thermal paste on hand, I would suggest you use that instead of what comes with this. I can't attest to if it's good or bad, but if you got better paste lying around, use the better paste. The RGB goodness on this thing is pretty phenomenal. I like it. It is like the nicest final touch to my Hackintosh, combined with this Gemini M case. RGB all over the place, and I like it. It's not addressable, like I said, so you won't be able to control it with your motherboard or remote control. It just goes through a cycle of different RGB patterns all on its own. And you know what? That's fine with me. I don't need it to be addressable, and working in a Hackintosh, I'm not going to be able to bother with that anyway, so it's cool. I like it. For $12, man, can't beat it. Super cool bling and cool temperatures. Hey, if you like this video, do me a favor and give it a big old thumbs up. But if you hated it, you can give it a thumbs down. But no matter what you do, don't forget to push that subscribe button and click that bell right next to it so you'll be notified every time I upload new videos. Got a couple more videos on the way. Finally gonna get an ADHD video done, and then do a recap on my Hackintosh over here, as well as a recap on how is life going running my baby blue at stock instead of overclocked. That's going to be a fascinating video, so you don't want to miss that. And until I see you in the next video, this is PJ the Great saying Audi 5000G. Yeah, I would go on the line saying that for $12, you were worth the hassle.
I dream about us, I dream about the start